distinguished members of the international and local observers here group present, our head of secretariat of the National Elections Commission and other senior elections officials here present, members of the Fourth Estate, our partners, would like to say we are glad again, once again, to welcome you to our daily press briefing, and will be led by the chairperson of the National Elections Commission, Madame Deveeta Brown-Lansana.
On behalf of the National Elections Commission, I add my voice to welcome you to the second announcement of preliminary results from the just ended senatorial by-election in Nimba County here in the Saniquili City Hall. Fellow Liberians, I am pleased to report that all of the 736 polling places in Nimba County have reported records of the count to our magisterial offices in Saniquili and Tapita. Tallying is ongoing. Let me now read out the second preliminary results in the senatorial by-election from the tallied centers at the NEC magisterial offices in Tapita, Lower Nimba, and Saniquili, Upper Nimba. (314) polling places of a total of 736 polling places, constituting 42.66%. Candidates: Tobo T. Wanuke Fangalo, independent. Votes obtained 514, constituting 1%. B. Mac Blewon, CMC. Votes obtained 2,610, constituting 5.09%. Edith Lainu Gonglo We, independent. Votes obtained 22,460, constituting 43.80%. George Parkinson Gompu, ADML. Votes obtained 452, constituting 0.88%. Samuel Gongwe Koga, MDR. Votes obtained 22,588, constituting 44.05%. Richard Martenoke Tingwe votes obtained 650, constituting 1.27%. And Garrison Dolde Yelu Jr., independent. Votes obtained 2,003, constituting 3.91%. Total valid votes 51,277, constituting 100%. Total invalid votes 1,214. Total votes 52,491. Those were the results, preliminary results from our tally process. Again, the Commission would like to thank the people of Nimba County for the peaceful manner in which they continue to conduct themselves since the successful conduct of the senatorial by-election and subsequent retrieval of electoral materials, collation and tallying of results. To conclude, we appreciate the Liberian National Police and other security agencies for the level of security provided all through this by-election process. To the government of Liberia, we say thanks for the funding provided for the conduct of the process, and to the donor community, we recognize your support along with the Liberian media, mainly all community radio stations across Nimba County. and the NEC Liberia Communications team for live streaming the Nimba Senatorial by-election. Let me, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners and the entire Commission, reassure that we will continue to work with you to the successful conclusion of this senatorial by-election. May we now take your questions, if there are any.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam Chairperson and Board of Commissioners. Let me join you and your partners to again appreciate the people of Nimba County for the resounding success and their peaceful participation in the electoral process. Madam Chairperson and Board of Commissioners of the Liberia's National Elections Commission, prior to our gathering here this evening, I observed round 2 of Upper Nimba Tally Room. There was a contention among parties or candidate observers about the Senate record of the count. The said record contains information including precinct code 33042, electoral district number 4, polling place number 2, with polling precinct name Gapley Public School. Madam Chairperson and the Board of Commissioners, the presiding officer of the mentioned center in the description did not provide the following sensitive information on the center of the count. Total number of unused, spoiled, and discarded ballot papers, number of ballot papers that should be in the ballot box, number of ballot papers taken from the ballot box, and discrepancy, if any. However, parties or candidates' representations settled the matter before them. Madam Chairperson and Board of Commissioners, based on the prevailing situation and for future elections, how can the NDC address such sensitive issue for public safety and trust?
The National Elections Commission has the tally process ongoing, and that tally process is to thrash out all of these kinds of concerns that you have. You yourself just said that the party agents and the rest of the team there resolve the matter. In other words, mistakes can be made if they are unintentional, but once these records reach the tally center, they are corrected. So we can say to you that we do training of the tally staff, and where they have challenges, those challenges are readily taken care of during the tally process.
Okay, so my name is Archie, and I report for Blaze Radio and TV from Monrovia. Would again ask these questions. Since this morning up to now, has the commissioner received any complaint from any of the candidates? And my second question is, I've also followed the tally rooms. There have been complaints from political party and independent candidates observers concerning how the NEC officials in the tally, in the polling room mark the papers where you found scratch marks and other things. So it raises concern. So they were kind of raising some contention about not being certified with that and see that to be tempted with. So in terms of education and to prevent these from occurring in future elections, how can the commissioner address these issues?
So firstly, to say that we have not received, to our knowledge, we have not received complaints during this by-election. What you are alluding to could possibly be human error, and I will say to you that all of these challenges, as we've said before, they are handled at that level. We continuously train the staff, including those who will be running the tally, and these different challenges you're talking about, once they are spotted, they are corrected.
Madam Chairperson, my name is Momo Samoka Kane, and I report for Strong FM and Strong TV in Monrovia. My concern has to do with the influx of invalid votes. 314 polling places reported, if I mistake, to be corrected, and the invalid vote observed is high. What can you say to that? Was there any voter or civic education done prior to the conduct of the by-election?
You are aware that CVE was conducted in the field. Those issues you are enumerating are issues that we always say we need to go to school to understand some of the actions we are supposed to take when it comes to how to mark the ballot. What the commission usually does is that months before the election, we conduct civic and voter education. We all know that it is not enough and we need to do more. However, if this CVE is integrated in our national curriculum, it makes it even better. So by the time you reach 18 years old, you would have known how to mark your ballot. But again, we will do everything possible to do CVE as much as possible, to be in the communities. In our last press briefing, we told you that the commission will rethink on how to integrate in the process local town criers and other community people to strengthen civic and voter education. But if you have CVE like 2 months to the time, it's probably not enough for some Liberians who will be casting their ballots. But then also, some Liberians will mark their ballots simply because they did not like somebody who's a candidate in the race. You know, we've seen where Liberians marking ballots will punch the eyes, the ears, and the nose of candidates, and yet they'll go and mark other places. So during the review of those ballots, it will be determined in the field that which mark you place properly will be the ones that will be considered as a valid vote. But again, we all need to do more. The commission, yes, but also on the part of the voters, they also need to do better.
David Manger, the Liberian investigator. 2 concerns quick. One, concerning the aggrieved individuals who claim to have come and are stranded, has the investigation begun? If yes, what's the finding? Next, the sitting of the entire Board of Commission, the entire membership of the Board of Commission of the National Elections Commission here in Senatorial. There was a concern today from someone from Monrovia who said, what law is informing this decision? Could there be education to the public, please?
Let me say, I hope the legal person was here, but I will say to you, with respect to the staff who are, not staff, the Liberians who are agitating about them being shortlisted to participate in these elections, we told you earlier that there will be an investigation to know what happened. We still have this in our mind to do. The process that is ongoing right now is to ensure that we get the results to the public, so everybody is involved in that. Then your second question is, you want to brief me a little bit?
Yes, that is about the entire board coming to Senatorial and sitting here giving results. Someone raised a concern. There have been by-elections in other parts of the country in previous time. It's not happened for the entire board, for example, somewhere in Liberia, Maryland, or somewhere else. Why is it so special about Nimba County?
There is nothing special here because we have precedents of conducting by-elections and the entire board has been there. We've done that in Lofa and other places. What we're trying to do, as we've done in the past, is to, at some point, bring the announcement of results to the people as opposed to all the time reading those announcements of results in the capital city, which is Monrovia. And when we do that in Monrovia, all of us are there. When we do it in other counties, all of us are there. It has happened in past administrations and it's happened here. This time we say, let's come to Nimba. And there's nothing special about it. But the people of Nimba are special to experience our coming to read the results and announce those results here in Senatorial, in Nimba. Thank you very much. Unless there's more.
Yeah, let me just do the closing question, if any. Again, my name is Sharon Gonda. I work for Radio Nimba, also Women Voices newspaper. Madam Chairperson, the Board of Commissioners, again, my concern is directed to pre-election victory ahead of legal authority like you, the NDC official pronouncement. The issue of war or situation room, kind of code when established or created by political actors. How is it helping the working of the NDC, with credibility?
The National Elections Commission has its own processes that it brings to the Liberian people by way of the conduct of elections. We have the tally process here in Saniquile as well as in Tapita. So generally we say that we have our own mechanism by way of the law, the new elections law, the Constitution of Liberia, by way of our regulations. We have our own processes, being the authority of elections in Liberia. Any other process that is set up is probably set up to support individual candidates and their partisans. We have nothing to do with that. But when you talk about those politicians coming out to announce that they were the winner, of a particular process, we say this is against the law, because the law says it's the National Elections Commission that has the authority to conduct elections and the authority to announce the results.
Yeah, so again, I'm Archie. So, Madam Commissioner, there is this concern in the public and following the preliminary reports and the tally. To some tally rooms, you observe that to a certain polling place, a candidate A will have, for example, 80 here, and to B 80, to C 80. It has been observed, and the public has raised concern that they have observed that there should be a ballot stocking, which is bringing this set of fashion to the public. That has been their perception. So how can you address this issue?
The National Elections Commission brings in ballots into the country. Those ballots are packed and sent to the precincts as well as the polling places. On election day, those ballots are displayed, as well as empty ballot boxes are displayed during the start of the voting process. The Commission has not stuffed any ballot box for any reason.
Okay, Madam Chairperson, my name is Elizana Yeneken, and I also report for Bliss FM. For the entire board to be in Nimba, what is the atmosphere, especially in this election?
Sorry, what is the what?
The atmosphere for the entire members of the board for NEC.
One of the things that we spoke about earlier is, as best as possible, to decentralize the announcement of results from an election. And basically, that's what we're doing. Our presence here will show you that we have decentralized. And this is not the first time, it's not the second, it's not the third time.
Thank you very much, members of the Board of Commissioners, Madam Chair and Co-Chairperson.
So let me just say the tally process continues, and that we will continue to announce the preliminary results until we have the final results. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow is at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m.